Hello, me old Insektors.
Oh, it's me again, but this time I'm a bloody insect, you know, trying to play me duck.
Oh, he is an all flipping egg.
Oh, hand me that leaf for you, I'm starving.
Oh, lovely.
Lovely
Lovely
jubbly.
bellies.
Oh, nothing like a leaf toasted to get me friendly.
Oh, love it for me brekkie, I do. Love it every day.
Tea, please.
Tea, please, darling. 1.
Toon jam. Toon jam. Hello, Toon jammer. I know you. I'm Matt.
And I'm J-Man.
And this week, we are talking about...
Not the animals of farthing wood.
No, as you may have thought. No. Rather, Insektors. Now, you may or may not remember this show. But Insektors was a 1994 animated TV series and was one of the earliest computer animated series. I believe the first fully computer animated series. Predating Reboot.
Whoa.
So that's pretty cool.
That is.
It was made in a small studio, Phantom, in France. And it was the 1994 recipient of a Children and Young People Emmy Award.
Wow. Didn't know they made those.
So created in 93, aired in 94, it ran for 2 seasons and 26 episodes, each at about 12 minutes.
Yeah.
And it was dubbed into 2 English language releases, one for North America and one for the UK. The North American version was recorded in France.
Right.
So it's closer to the original script.
Right.
Whereas the UK version is completely different and the script was rewritten so that the characters had different names and different dialogue used so that they could include jokes and references specific to English and British culture.
How strange.
Yeah. So here's an example. There's a line that one of them, some, I don't know, random soldier, whatever, gave, and it was back to base. But in the UK version, the line is, "Now time for home and cheesy toasties."
What? Oh man, that just hits home, that does. Yeah, definitely.
So there's basically loads more jokes in the English ones.
Right.
And some of them, it says, this is wicked. The languages ranged all over the accents range from all over the UK. So you've got some English accents, some Welsh accents, some Scottish, Irish, whatever, and it included. So this is what it says on Wikipedia. Included what could be deemed as politically incorrect insults to go with them. So there's a guy called Captain Drumsturdy who is described as a Hebridean windbag.
That's amazing.
And it was also dubbed in several other languages as well as English. But yeah, it was actually quite a pioneering cartoon.
Yeah.
Changed a lot.
Yeah.
And for saying it's pre-reboot.
Yeah. Not talked about a lot.
No. Interesting. And here's one that's interesting for you. It predates A Bug's Life.
Really?
And Ants, yeah.
So it's set the tone there.
One of my points was going to be originally that it's clearly a rip-off of Bug's Life.
Well.
How
wrong you would have been.
How wrong. There you
Who
go.
knew? So we wouldn't have had those early animations where they clearly had an insect vibe.
Yeah.
Maybe they went off a lot of the stuff that Insektors set down.
Maybe. So with that, shall we jump to our memories? Memories. Okay, so do you remember Insektors?
Yes, I definitely remember. Like, it was on at like weird times.
Yeah, I remember it as well. And I like when I saw it, I was surprised at it. You know, something that's not been in your head in ages.
Yeah.
But I remember watching it quite a bit.
Yeah, it was definitely like you do when you're a kid. You're up at weird times, aren't you? And I remember it being one of those early morning shows. At some point. Because I remember the thing where like it gets rid of all the C's and turns them into K's. They stamp down. I remember that happening a lot, and I could never remember what it was that did that, because I always thought it was Mortal Kombat, because obviously they've changed it for a K, and I was like, no, it's not on that. No. And so for ages I'd be trying to remember what Insektors was. But yeah,
there you go. That's what it is. I think one of the things that stood out was in the intro, not the actual intro, because I still don't remember that. But it shows you a load of their vehicles. Yeah. And they look like chain chomps or something. They look like stuff from Mario. Yeah. I think that's probably why it was, at the time, I used to watch it all the time, because it just reminds you of the games you played.
Yeah. Yeah, it did, because, obviously the early CGI and stuff. Yeah. And I remember thinking, like, how amazing it looked back in the day. Yeah. Like, I remember being young, being like, this looks incredible. Wow. Like, how come it's the only show that looks this good?
And it's crazy, because when you do compare it to Reboot, it's not much worse.
No.
I think there's a few years between them.
Yeah, I think a lot of it's to do with the colour palette. Yeah, because Reboot's really bright and everything kind of stands out, whereas this is a lot darker.
There's loads of dark bits, isn't there?
Yeah,
but they're all colourful bits as well, aren't they?
Yeah.
Still look just as good, I'd say.
Yeah.
So that's pretty interesting.
Yeah, but it's definitely in there somewhere.
Yeah, I got no memory of what. I think there's no toys or anything that went with it. Like, there probably was toys, I guess, but there's no. I just remember the show. Yeah. Which usually, I remember the toys and stuff more. Like, you're like, oh, I remember I had a game, or I had a toy. That's usually what we end up saying in this segment. But I just remember watching it.
So I wonder if they did release any toys.
Who knows? Maybe have to collect them.
Yeah.
And stamp them on a windowsill somewhere. Yes. So with that, we watched episode 1.
Yeah, we did. It was the first episode.
First episode. The colour gun.
The colour gun.
Yeah. So let's do a little playthrough of that.
Rewind. Playthrough. So this episode begins in like the nice place. We get a bit of a narration at the start.
Yeah, like a sort of like the Pokemon style.
Yeah, the sort of a tongue-in-cheek narrator that's sort of like having a bit of a laugh, and he tells us that basically the world's kind of split in two, and there's a good side and a bad side. Yeah. And basically we're checking in with the good people now. And so we see there's like a bunch of characters that are all kind of like obviously insect-like. It's like a weird butterfly girl, and there's like a bug that's like a blue horse thing.
Yeah, it was like with helicopter things on its legs and stuff. It's
a bit perplexing, that one. But then there's like an old guy who's like the inventor. Who seems to be
he's like a grasshopper or something.
And he's created like he's basically amped up a guitar so that it shoots colour. And colour is like the one thing that seems to divide the two sort of tribes.
Because it like when they're hit with the colour from this gun guitar, it makes them happy, doesn't it?
Yeah. And so their plan is to use that to turn like the other people. And so they deliver the guitar to like the main character guy, who just kind of props it up next to a building. Yeah. And then leaves it there overnight, as you do
just
with
go sleep.
Yeah, you
hang out, things. We're at war with these. Now, what is it? What are the others called? The Cruds. And that's where the K comes from, isn't it? Yeah. From the Insektors.
That's right, yeah.
Take it the good guys, the Insektors. Or is that just a name of the show?
I think no, because they're called it's not the Evergreens, but like the...
Oh, yeah, something...
Yeah.
It's
kind of like
All
that.
Greens.
The All Greens,
something like that, yeah.
So yeah.
The K is actually the villain logo.
Yeah, which is weird.
Yeah, that is weird.
Well, I guess it's like authoritarian stamping down, getting rid of something like that. But there's some Cruds in the bushes just outside the tower, and they see the little colour gun, and so they try and steal it. Yeah. They manage to nick it, and then the little there's like a firefly
Yeah, he's got like a glowing belly, and
yeah, he sort of sees them, I believe, as they're running away, and then sets up an alarm, and then a chase ensues.
Yeah,
and they run off back to their castle, which is a lot gloomier, a lot darker. And there seems to be a lot of like crud people who sort of they're kind of almost slaves to their queen.
Yeah,
there's a lot of people like bringing in fuel.
Sort of like dark, and it's a bit like the orc factories in Lord of the Rings, like sort of like grim and industrial and horrible. Because they're mining, aren't they, for resources?
Yeah, they need fuel.
Yeah, which they've used all their fuel resource, so they're actually mining the land, so they'll destroy the planet if they keep going or something.
That's it. Yeah.
The narrator tells us.
Yeah,
pretty on the nose.
Yeah, it does. Yeah. And so their plan is to sneak in. So they dress themselves up as cruds by basically just covering up all their colour.
They go in mud, don't they?
Yeah, they go in mud. And they go in with the little bundle of stuff to chuck in the furnace. And then they manage to infiltrate the tower and head upwards. And then there's a scuffle up there, I think, with like they've got an inventor guy that's trying to create like a new fuel source for them and stuff. And I think he's the one that wants the gun to use to power stuff, but the other guys there and telling them they need to destroy it. But they managed to get the gun back. I forget how.
They sort of like he goes in there and he just like chucks the sticks at someone and just takes it and shoots a couple of them.
Just a little.
Then you have like a little chase.
Little hero, and that's it. Yeah, then they're running away. They go on like the little bikes they're like little
speeder bikes from Star Wars, aren't they? Similar to them.
They fly away on some of them, and then they fly off like into the sky, and the bike runs out of fuel. Yeah. And then they can fly anyway. Yeah. So whereas the other people can't.
So problem solved.
Yeah. So they fly off and then head back home, and
they've saved it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. That's the start of the adventure.
Yeah. To jam. To jam.
Colour is the key.
Colour is the key, yeah. And speaking of colour, there are some fairly colourful characters.
Yeah.
In it. There's a lot of. I mean, we talked before about them using regional accents. Yeah. There's a lot. It's got that similar thing we talked about with Farthing Wood.
Yeah.
There's a lot of accents going on. I didn't think this was as bad as Farthing Wood.
No.
They were. Most of them were okay. There was a couple that were stupid, but they were usually like the villains.
Yeah.
And you kind of didn't really mind almost because you weren't supposed to like them.
Yeah.
So it didn't bother you.
That's it. And some of them are like just little side characters.
So they're not in it enough, are they? So it was okay. They did have some. They had it was like a big scarab beetle.
Oh man, that was.
It was like definitely racially questionable.
Oh, that was
called Mr. Wasabi.
He was so.
And he just kept going, "Oh yo, oi, oh yo."
That was clearly some questionable stuff there. That was probably like the most racially insensitive thing I'd seen on TV for a while.
Yeah, I think it was one of those things where it was fairly harmless, but at the same time you couldn't have done that today.
No,
really.
No, you can't get away with that.
Like there was no direct insult. It was just really ignorant.
Yeah, it's straight up Japanese racism. Mr. Wasabi.
Mr. Wasabi.
They didn't even cover it up.
Oh man,
that was terrible.
Yeah, it was just. Yeah, that was pretty funny.
Yeah, I didn't see that coming.
No, wasn't expecting it.
Yeah.
Spat out my drink. As they said, Mr. Wasabi.
Yeah.
But I mean, it did say there are some.
Some questions.
Yeah, Hebrides windbag. They should have included Mr. Wasabi on that list.
Yeah, definitely.
I
wonder if there's more characters that come out of the woodworks that are just.
I bet there's got to be
clear stereotypes.
Yeah. I thought it was quite, for saying it was only 12 minutes.
Yeah.
A lot happened.
Oh yeah.
I felt like it wasn't boring.
No. It didn't feel like 12 minutes though.
No. Yeah. There was always something going on, and the chase was quite good as well.
Yeah.
I mean, the animation got a little bit sketchy.
Yeah, when they try and go fast, it's like the frame rate drops out, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little bit.
It goes a bit juttery.
And there was a bit where they were sort of jumping on bikes while they were moving.
Yeah.
And they obviously couldn't do it, so it would just be 1 minute they're not on the bike, and then it would cut to them being like, you cut back and they're on the bike.
Yeah.
Just like, oh right, okay. That's how we're doing it. Mr. Wasabi's on a bike now.
That's it.
Cool. So it wasn't without its issues.
But for the time,
I thought the story was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Quite like the the colour versus the industrious. I mean, it's an old trope in it, pretty much, and good versus evil story. But it seemed
it works.
I'd buy into the world. I was like, oh yeah, I like it. It wasn't Earth, was it? It was like a separate world.
Yeah.
So you're immediately not too fussed about details on
yeah
specifics. You're like, oh, it's not Earth, so whatever. I'll
That's
take
it.
Character seems okay.
Yeah.
You can tell it's been changed, the dialogue, because it had a similar sort of Samurai Pizza Cat's approach to some of the moments.
Yeah.
Specifically the butterfly woman.
Yeah.
Who was just constantly moaning that she was like a character that she's like, well, oh yeah, give it to the boy brother because he's a man, blah 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 blah.
Yeah, yeah.
And like they were just like, oh yeah, let's do that.
Yeah,
which kind of just seemed a bit weird.
It did seem weird, especially right at the start as well.
Yeah.
This is like episode one.
I was worried. I was like, is this going to be Samurai Pizza Cat's again? But it wasn't too much, was it?
Like, self-aware.
No.
But yeah, and it's cool that they've done some of the they've done away with just doing straight he's in this insect, he's that insect. Yeah, I've added some little tweaks and stuff. So some of them are like, oh, I don't really know what that is. So
it doesn't really matter too much because they're not even real insects.
Exactly. Yeah. So you're like, oh, okay, that's cool. Because like the little blue guy has all these little perks on it and stuff, and then it's weird that some of them fly and then some of them use vehicles.
Yeah, some of them fly and use vehicles.
Yeah, which is strange.
Yeah.
Just like, oh, I guess it's like using one of those automatic walkway things.
Yeah, you just do it. You
just I guess.
It's easier. It's easier. I do it. Yeah, but yeah, it was a cool layout. I feel like bugs used to be quite popular.
Yeah,
there used to be more things like we said before, Bugs Life, ants,
yeah.
Insektors.
Yeah, there was a lot of toys, a lot of bug toys.
Yeah, just bugs everywhere. Because they had a world of their own almost. You got all the different ones.
That's it. I remember I had these pretty cool bug toys where they were they're like little squishy kind of they're just horrible bugs like cockroaches and stuff.
Yeah.
And you used to get these two tubes of stuff with them, and you filled them with it, and it was one was red and one was white, and you filled them with blood and guts. And then you just put them on the floor and stamp on it, and then all the stuff would go.
Yeah, I do remember them. Yeah,
it's a pretty grotesque kids' toy, really.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it was dead
most
fun.
were, but it was dead cool.
It was really fun. Yeah,
I remember the adverts for them.
Squish the bug.
Because it was to trick people, wasn't it? Get your mum to stand on it or something.
Yeah. I'd be like, oh mum, there's a bug.
Oh,
and then just blood and pus everywhere.
Yeah.
It's just like, oh yeah, it's good times.
That was good, yeah.
Yeah, they were cool.
But just insect stuff used to seem to be around more.
Yeah. I think it is like you say, the natural world is a different world itself.
Yeah.
Especially at that level, the bugs. It's funny how it goes in phases, though. With dinosaurs, then bugs, then and then obviously
there's always something in there.
Yeah, and then everyone kind of picks up on it, and you get a handful of the same stuff.
I suppose for a bit there was because of turtles, it was just amphibians.
Yeah,
all sorts of different. Lizards or amphibians sort of thing.
Yeah, Insektors. It's funny how little of it I remember.
I know. Yeah,
I do remember watching it a lot.
Yeah.
But just not really any solid memories other than the logo.
Yeah, and it seems like I mean this was the first episode, so I don't know how it plays out, but it's got vehicles in it, so that intrigues you. The colour gun was pretty cool.
Yeah, that was cool.
A guitar as well.
Yeah.
The regional gags.
Yeah.
It seems like I would have laughed at them as a kid.
Yeah, maybe that's what it was. Maybe I just it's because everyone sounded like they lived next door or whatever, so it's just
which is always weird in animation, isn't it?
Yeah.
When English accents in animation, unless they're straight, I'm English.
Yeah.
Oh yes. Or street, I'm Scottish. Nothing else.
That's it.
But when you start having regional accents, I don't know, sometimes it's just so jarring, isn't it?
It is, yeah.
I think they need to match, you need to make it because there's old Disney films, isn't there, with like Alice in Wonderland, Tweedledee and Tweedledum, flipping, they're like Blackpool or something.
Yeah.
But it's fine because it sort of matches. Whereas when you see these insects talking like Birmingham accents, it's so strange.
It is strange, yeah. And I think it's because obviously growing up over here, a lot of the stuff was done elsewhere. So when
you get used to American.
I just assume it's going to be American. So when you hear someone English, you're like, what's going on here?
Yeah.
Something just doesn't feel right.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it's strange how it's gone from French to American to English.
Yeah.
I wonder why they did it that way.
I know, maybe the American one was bad.
Yeah, maybe.
Maybe they just didn't receive well, or maybe it was a deal they did with an English company where they were like, I think we know our audience better.
Because if you, especially like you say, if it was recorded in France, you'd think it'd be easier to get the English people to come over to do a recording session than the Americans. So that's a weird one.
Maybe they all have French accents.
Oh, maybe, yeah. That would be funny.
Yeah. Better, I think.
Yeah, it would, yeah.
Oh, Mr. Wasabi.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think on that note, shall we rate it up?
Yes.
Okay, so here at Toon Jam we have a 3-point rating system. Thumbs up, colour in the sky. Thumbs down, Mr. Wasabi. And shaky middle, you Hebrides windbag. So that's good, bad, on the fence. So, as always, Jay, you are first. What is your rating for Insektors Episode 1, The Colour Gun?
Yes. Well, I believe it was. It's quite enjoyable. It's quite enjoyable. It was fun going in. It was a very different world that we hadn't really seen before. It was CGI at a time when we didn't really have CGI. Characters are fun and different. Voices were a bit weird, but still fun. I think some of the side characters did make me laugh. Just some of the little. Like there'd be a little gag from someone that works in the factory that just hates his life. Like they were pretty good. And then I think in general the story seems like it's got a lot of scope. So I'm sure it could go places. So I mean I didn't really have anything jarringly wrong with it.
No, there was nothing that really was off-putting.
No. So for me it's a thumbs up.
A thumbs
up for Insektors.
Oh. Yeah. Well, I would agree. It was enjoyable. It flew by. It felt like it had plenty of stuff going on throughout. There are a few questionable moments with racial ties, but other than that, it was pretty good. Even though the voice acting is slightly jarring, quite liked it still.
Yeah,
it was
odd, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was quite enjoyable, and it was quite funny. All of these regional people, like you say, they could be from next door, and I don't know why it did seem to fit. Eventually, as you watch it, you're like, actually, I quite like that. So it's a thumbs up from me too. 2 thumbs up. 2
thumbs up on it.
That has been a while.
Yeah,
I think. I feel like it has.
Yeah.
Since we've watched something we've both enjoyed, but maybe it's not. I don't know.
It's probably last episode.
Yeah. Yeah, there was one at some point. But there you go. 2 thumbs up. Insektors. Would highly recommend going back and watching it.
Yeah. I can't believe it was the foundation of the CGI.
I know. I feel like Reboot gets
all of
too much praise for what Insektors did.
That's it.
Before. And it's pretty good as well for saying it is.
Yeah,
is a good quality for the time.
Yeah, it's not. You don't watch it and you're like, ugh.
I know you're not like this. Impossible. I can tell it's the first one. It's not like.
Yeah.
Like this was better than Johnny Quest.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Like the CG bits in Johnny Quest weren't as good as this entire episode.
Yeah, exactly.
So there you go. You know that's a good thing. So thanks again for joining us this week. If you enjoyed this episode, please feel free to rate and review us on whatever it is you listen to us. It really helps us out. We also have a Patreon, so if you want some more episodes, you can pay a little bit of money towards the show and you'll get some extra stuff.
Yeah.
So that's cool. If you want to get in touch with us at all, you can find us on the three... Help me out here.
The three
wasabis. The three wasabis of the internet: Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter at ToonJamPod. Any recommendations, or did you agree or disagree with us? Let us know. We'd love to talk to our listeners, and you are one of those guys, a pal of ours.
That's it.
And so, on that note, I want you to stay jammy, fair friend. Stay jammy.
Hey everyone, thank you for listening to Toon Jam. And if you want to continue to help us out, you can help us by jumping over to our Patreon page, which is patreon.com/toonjampod. And if you can rate and review us everywhere you listen to your podcasts, so on iTunes or on the Android apps, that'll be a massive help too. Thank you, and stay jammy.